need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. The what? All the boxes left over from the pizza. All the boxes. Okay. Make sure you recycle the plastic like we talked about. Yeah. Did Jay reach out yet? Nah, Bob. He ghosting. This motherfucker doing? These things sweet now because I'm in here.
The scary part is that in certain circles, ordering pizza doesn't mean food. It's a way to describe arranging under-the-table deliveries of not-of-age ex-workers, as if they're menu items.
All right, let's get into it, fam. First up, let's talk about that leaked call from Diddy's time in jail. This wasn't any ordinary call. Diddy casually tells his son to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes and to recycle all the plastic. The cryptic language has fans speculating what Diddy could really mean with these strange instructions. Was it an innocent message, or is there something hidden here that we're all missing?
But let's break down this phone call from prison where it seems like he's talking to his son, and the call is very difficult to understand. I don't know if it's something about the jail phone systems, but either way, we're going to try to break down every single word. But I believe that they're talking in code because I can't understand what he's trying to say.
What up? Yo, listen. Do not entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone.
Here Diddy's being kind of smart because he knows everybody records prison phone calls, so he definitely knows that he can't say anything specific about the case, and you could tell by the rest of the conversation that he wants to make sure that they don't know what he's talking about.
I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. The what? All the boxes left over from the pizza. All the boxes.
So here we got Diddy talking in code about pizza boxes. I'm not sure what the reference is and what its actual code name for, but he's mentioning pizza and boxes separate, so I don't know what the pizza stands for, and I don't know what the boxes stand for. If anybody knows what this means, leave it in the comments so we could talk about it. And also, remember, this is just a legal disclaimer. Everything is alleged. We're not saying any of this is true. We're just reacting to something that we found on the internet.
Okay, make sure you recycle the plastic like we talked about. Yeah.
It's obvious Diddy knew he was going in, and he had all this already set up on the outside for his son. And plastic could mean CDs. If he had some, videos on CDs or videos on flash drives, they're made of plastic. Even hard drives, a lot of them are made of plastic. So that could be what he's referencing. It could be a memory card. SD cards are made of plastic. So all that kind of lines up with what he's trying to say, which is get rid of the footage.
Then there's the part where Diddy asks if Jay has reached out. Could he be talking about Jay-Z?
Did Jay reach out yet? Nah, Bob. He ghosting. What's this motherfucker doing? These things sweet now because I'm in here. It's all good. You about to get out on bail.
Now, there's definitely a lot to unpack here. He asked him if Jay reached out. We don't know who that is, but he doesn't specify Z at the end of it, so I think we could assume who it is, but we're not exactly sure. And Diddy sounding very upset. It could definitely tell me one thing, that he had a backup plan in place, and apparently this Jay person did not do what was supposed to happen because he's expecting something to happen and they didn't come through. And not exactly sure of the timing of this call, but obviously it seems that it's before the second time that he was denied bail, right? Because they thought he was gonna get out.
No, hey yo, check this out. Need you to reach out to the producer. Let these motherfuckers know there's a release date for that new Netflix movie. Alright, Pop. It's crazy right now.
Okay, so there's a lot going on here, but I could definitely tell that saying the Netflix movie is definitely associated with a freak off videotape. That's pretty easy to put together. I don't know who this producer person is. That might be the one who's holding the tapes, maybe? I mean, it's pretty obvious, I think, but he's not really spelling it out. And actually, there was a lawyer going on news stations telling everybody that multiple tapes are being shopped out. So this could be before that happened. And maybe that's his way of like keeping people silent by just letting people know that the tapes are out there, ready to be dropped.
It's crazy right now.
And then you could tell by his voice, his son King Combs does not seem like he's okay with what's happening because a lot is being put on their names at once. And we know because we could see it on TV every day. So he's kind of dealing with it without trying to say it to his dad.
Everybody out there quiet as a motherfucker around him. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We gonna let them have their little fun, but I'm still gonna have the last laugh.
Nah, what he's saying here is something that everybody's been saying, yo. None of the celebrities that were very close to him over the years, who've been all over videos and stuff, have said anything. Even when asked about it, Kevin Hart didn't say nothing. Rihanna, Jay-Z, Beyonce, a lot of these people have been stone silent. So because of that, I'm starting to think that, does he really have something on these people or not? Because he's pretty confident, even in jail from a phone call, which is kind of Diddy's MO. He's always been overly confident anyway.
What about all these lawsuits though, Pop? Ain't none of them getting shit. I ain't worth nothing. Ain't got shit in my name anyway. Don't even worry about it. Bunch of money hungry and shit.
So I guess Diddy here is calming down his son. He's pretty much not worried about the lawsuits at all. He looks like he doesn't plan on paying anyone to settle. And you know what's weird is that there was a clip from Mace where he said that nothing is in Diddy's name either, which is strange. So you can't really sue him for anything.
I did this. He told me he wanted receipts. Let's start with your mother, nigga. Your mother got the receipts. Yeah, everything is in your mother's name.
Diddy and Jay-Z have a long history together, with both rising to fame at around the same time. Several celebrities have pointed out that Jay-Z was regularly seen at these parties, further fueling speculation about what really went on behind the scenes and raising questions about his involvement.
I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people he had put him out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me.
Right. The latest court drama surrounding Diddy has been wild, but now we're talking about cryptic messages, hidden meanings, and the one person who's calling it all out loud and clear, Jaguar Wright.
Because my focus right now is Sean Combs.
Okay. Tell us why.
Because he's a sex trafficker. Okay. And he's using music and entertainment to sex traffic.
Now, is this just boys, girls, adults, kids? I
mean, from what I've heard from sources that I would consider reliable, it really doesn't matter.
Wow.
I don't think sexuality is something that has anything to do with gender at this point for Sean. I honestly think he's just an extreme narcissist who loves power. He loves the ability to manipulate and control people. Why? Most likely because he was victimized by his mentor, who loved to control people.
And his mentor was
Andre Harrell. Like, he was determined to win. Like, nobody knew how determined he was to win. Like, that whole thing with Father MC, he covered that thing up real fast.
What happened with him and Father MC?
There was a party down at Howard. You know, one of the infamous parties, and they had gotten too big, and he didn't have proper security, he didn't have proper permits, and there was a stampede, and Father MC's woman got trampled to death. And
now, how does one go about covering up something like that?
Well, I mean, apparently you pay people. From what I've been told, he's been paying what is it? What's the not the World Star, the other one, the Shade Room. He's been paying the Shade Room not to post my post. That's what I was told. Someone hit me up in the DM and was like, stop tagging. So they got on my feed and was like, stop tagging the Shade Room. He's paying them not to post it.
Yeah, I can believe that. It's a couple other artists that pay them too, not to. Yep.
Now, you said no Diddy, but it seems like there is Lil Rod has come out, who he produced the Love album. And it seems like he has recordings, pictures of a whole year and a half.
Smart guy.
Year and a half with Diddy, not getting paid to where he's like.
Smart guy.
It seems like you can't say no to Diddy the way he's putting it out. Like, there's a lot of people like, why didn't he say no?
Yeah, that you don't go. You don't go. Well, why go? They gonna drug you.
Lace, yeah.
You gonna ask for a glass of water, it's gonna be laced with that Tootsie. Let the good times roll. Like, if I knew that there's a possibility that I might get raped and drugged if I go to this party. And I go anyway. I just wish they would tell all these little niggas the truth. You know? When they court them with the record deals and the contracts and the chains and the cars and the girls. And I wish they would tell them the truth. Listen to me. All you gotta do is let these 8 fuck the dog shit out of you tonight. I get all that for you tomorrow. Cause that's what's gonna happen. Like, why can't you be up front?
Jaguar Wright has never held back. This woman has been going off about Diddy for years, spilling secrets the industry doesn't want you to know. Long before his recent arrest or the raid on his home, Jaguar was already calling him out, speaking on things others in the industry won't dare to reveal. She's claimed that Diddy and his inner circle are allegedly involved in some dark dealings, even going so far as to suggest that he and his friends have ties to the mysterious deaths of certain famous figures.
Too. And congratulations, Young Miami. Run as fast as Cassie did. Uptown Records started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, I'll Be Sure, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim was the longest working employee because she was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant. Kim is dead. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only 2 left are Puffy and Al almost died. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Heavy D was found dead, face down in the heart attack. Andre Harrell, heart attack. Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. And then right after that, Al had a meeting, and I was going to meet up with him because we were in Vegas, and then the next thing you know, you want to know what they all had in common, though? The survivors and the late of Uptown Records, they were all writing tell-all books. Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died. And I'll Be Sure was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma. Has Puffy ever been in a coma? Has anything happened to him? He must be the luckiest motherfucker, because it seems like everybody that worked at Uptown Records from the very beginning is gone. Just him.
From the wild freak-off parties she claims he hosts to stories of people getting drugged without their knowledge, Jaguar has seen it all and isn't afraid to call it out.
You were never at these freak-off parties. What were they like?
See, this is the thing. Everything that I'm about to say to you is not my firsthand knowledge. It is my firsthand witness account experience. I was a sex worker. I was a dominatrix before I got my record deal. That's how I know how the dark world and the sex world and the entertainment world run hand in hand. That's why the movie Blink Twice is so important. Salute to Zoe Kravitz. The sex workers that I have worked with throughout the years and continue to work with even to this day have worn hidden cameras. I have my own tapes. I've seen what they do. The ritualistic behaviors, the drugging, putting girls in suitcases, dumping them in alleyways. It's horrifying. And it's all done under the protection of, this is going to be paid off. There's another NDA. It's terrible.
She's also saying that she's putting her life on the line, as she exposes Diddy and his circle. They've allegedly sent goons after her, and she's claiming they're trying to silence her for good.
Running out of that hotel room with a sheet. And he came out. And he grabbed me by my hair and he dragged me back. And
Wow.
he just hit the shit out of me until I stopped fighting. And then he had his way.
Whoa.
Was it somebody in the industry?
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
Mm.
The media side wants me to ask who, but then the brotherly side wants you to keep that private. So if you want to disclose it, you can, but if not, we definitely respect that too.
I'm going to pay my debt. And I'm going to collect what's owed to me in my own way. Y'all don't want nothing to do with that. Trust me. You don't want me to say that.
Ooh, yeah.
Not today.
Respect.
Yeah.
So let's talk. I seen a video.
What I will say is that Sean Carter is vicious and violent. And what he don't do with his own hands, he will pay others to do. And he films it all and he watches it. Like I said, there's another tape of me out there. I just don't know where it's going to pop up.
So there's a video circulating out there. I seen it today, actually. Which you speaking
I'm on a Diddy tape.
Say it again.
I'm on a Diddy tape.
Which one?
That person I was just speaking of. I was there with him.
Jaguar isn't stopping with Diddy. She's hinting that Jay-Z might be facing his own reckoning soon. According to her, there are things in Jay's past that could surface any day now.
What would it take for Jay-Z to go down like Diddy did?
I don't know. But I got an idea that Evan Rogers is going to help me figure that out.
And who is Evan?
Evan was the producer who only seemed to work on teeny bopper projects, who discovered Rihanna at 3 a.m. in the morning in a hotel room on the island where she comes from, with no parental supervision. And then she was put on a private plane, a minor, from one country to another, without parental supervision. And she ended up in a boardroom with Mr. Carter, without parental supervision. Y'all got young children. Would you just let your daughter leave and go to a whole other country with some motherfucking niggas you don't know?
Absolutely not.
Doing talent shows at 3 a.m.
So you're saying that the rumors are true. There are rumors circulating that Rihanna was actually trafficked here. Are you saying that
Starting to
that's...
sound that way, don't it? Because her daddy ain't show up till 24 hours later to pick up a $500,000 check for his daughter's ass. Maybe we should look more into that album, Auntie. That album cover was disturbing. A child bride with a crown over her head and blood smeared on her face. I don't know. How don't people see SOSs anymore? I mean, maybe I'm just crazy.
Jaguar didn't hold back when she sat down with Piers Morgan, revealing more details of Jay-Z's involvement.
You want to know why there's no vindication for me? Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere. forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter. This has been a fist of tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades. It must stop.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about, Pierce.
Listen, like I said, Jay-Z and Beyonce are not here, unfortunately, to respond to that.
I know. I'm just being honest with you.
It didn't take long for Jay-Z's legal team to take action. They reached out to Piers Morgan's team, firmly asserting that Jaguar Wright's claims were baseless and nothing more than misinformation. Following this, Piers addressed the situation and issued an apology for the accusations made during the interview.
Why there's no vindication for me? Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere. Forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter. This has been a fist of tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades. It must stop.
There's been obviously a lot of
cruelty-free artistry.
Right. There's been a lot of rumor mill about what has happened in the rap world. A lot of allegations that the misogyny in the lyrics clearly was based on a general misogyny towards women away from the music. And that clearly seems to have been borne out by these charges against Diddy, which if he's found guilty of all this, he's never coming out of prison. How dangerous do you think?
Thank God.
How dangerous do you think he is as a person?
I think he's one of the most dangerous people I've ever met. A lot of people have been questioning, well, she doesn't really know him. She has no knowledge of him. She doesn't have a picture with him. I'm smarter than Claudia Jordan. I would never take a picture with the devil. Everyone knew he was the devil. He's been the devil for 30 years. He's been covered and protected by not only Clive Davis, but Lucian Grange. He was selected to be the demon that he is, to keep the culture in line so the industry could continue to rape it for all of its precious jewels. We have too many lost. The list of lost is ridiculous. And everyone knows Diddy was selected for this job.
Let's rewind to what's led us here. Diddy's been under heavy fire with a stack of lawsuits piling up, and these claims are no joke.
Now to Sean Diddy Combs, the music mogul is facing a series of new civil lawsuits, including allegations he sexually assaulted 2 teenagers. Our senior investigative correspondent, Aaron Katursky, has the details. Aaron, good morning.
Good morning, Whit. This new batch of civil lawsuits accuses Sean Combs of drugging and sexually assaulting 7 more alleged victims. One of them says she was 13 at the time, and certain celebrities were there watching. This morning, a new civil lawsuit alleges Sean Diddy Combs sexually assaulted a then 13-year-old girl after the VMAs in the year 2000.
All right, we'll be back.
Combs attended the award show with his then girlfriend, Jennifer Lopez. The lawsuit says Diddy's driver invited the alleged victim to an after-party, telling her Combs liked younger girls and saying she fit what Diddy was looking for. At the party, the lawsuit says the teen accepted a drink and went to lie down, feeling woozy and lightheaded. Combs allegedly grabbed the teen, saying, "You are ready to party." The lawsuit says the teen was sexually assaulted by a male, identified as Celebrity A, while Combs and a female, identified as Celebrity B, watched. Combs then allegedly assaulted her, while celebrities A and B watched. The new civil lawsuits accuse Combs of sexual assaults over more than 2 decades, from 2000 to 2022. Alleged victims include a then 17-year-old male who says Combs molested him at a party in New York, and a man who says Combs assaulted him at a party in Los Angeles. The man says he took this photo of the vodka Combs served him to document the alleged encounter. Combs' legal team did not directly respond to the new allegations, but pointed ABC News to a prior statement that says the truth will prevail, that Mr. Combs has never sexually assaulted anyone, adult or minor, man or woman. And overnight, attorneys for Combs also asked the judge overseeing his criminal prosecution to silence the plaintiffs in these civil lawsuits, who they said have made shockingly prejudicial and false allegations of sexual assault and abuse of minors.
It's not just Diddy facing heat in court. His son, Christian Combs, aka King Combs, has his own legal troubles brewing. His name's come up in connection to a separate legal case involving allegations of misconduct at a yacht party. It's starting to look like a family affair in all the wrong ways, with both Diddy and his son getting caught up in waves of scandal.
When attorney Tyrone Blackburn, the man already representing Rodney Jones, filed a civil complaint on behalf of his client, Grace O'Markey. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing her last name, but I believe it is O'Markey. Grace O'Markey in Los Angeles Superior Court, accusing 26-year-old Christian Combs of drugging her and sexually assaulting her in December of 2022 when she was working in a charter boat in St. Martin. So according to the lawsuit, O'Markey says that she had been working as a steward, providing food and drinks on that yacht for a 12-hour period, and she was 25 years old at the time. She believed that the trip would be a, quote, wholesome family excursion, but says it, quote, turned into a hedonistic environment, even describing rampant drug use among sex workers and celebrities who came on board. She believes that the alcohol on the yacht had been laced with drugs because she says women would have one drink and then almost immediately pass out or start falling over. This is, by the way, something that it was also alleged in Jones's lawsuit, that Combs would spike the drinks of different people. But focusing on Christian Combs, O'Markey says that Christian Combs had been staying at a villa on the shore, but that he would come onto the yacht in the evening to party. And on December 28th, 2022, Christian reportedly arrived very intoxicated and then proceeded to pressure O'Markey to take shots of tequila. She did. Christian allegedly tried to get her to drink more in the yacht's makeshift studio. O'Markey alleges that Christian kissed her neck, kissed her face, as he groped her legs, breasts, and private areas. O'Markey reportedly told Christian, quote, "Excuse me, you don't touch my legs like that. I'll move my legs where I want to. If I want to do this, then I will. You don't touch my legs like that." O'Markey then says that she told Christian she couldn't stay with him unless it was approved by a supervisor, all of whom she knew would be asleep at the time. So this was a way for her to get out of the situation. She claims that Christian said, "Who can I talk to? I'm going to say I requested you right now." O'Markey then says she responded with, quote, "Well, you can take your hand off my ass for the first thing." O'Markey says that she tried to go back to her work, but Christian found her again, wanted her to find him a place to sleep for the night, So she ended up taking him to the cinema room for the yacht, which doubled as a place for people to sleep. And she claims that is when Christian blocked her and groped her, took off his clothes, tried to force her to perform oral sex on him. She says that she was able to fight him off until someone came in. Now, the lawsuit goes on to say that O'Markey told the yacht captain what happened the very next day, but he didn't believe her, didn't do any sort of real investigation. She says the captain retaliated against her for months after the alleged assault before ultimately firing her in May of 2023. Now, aside from her account, aside from a potential other witness, right, the person that allegedly walked in on this, what proof is there that this happened? Well, she reportedly has photos of the bruises that she says were caused by this event with Christian Combs. But she also claims that in that studio, during that first interaction at the time, was Rodney Jones, that former Diddy music producer I mentioned, the one who is suing Diddy. He's known as Little Rod Jones. Remember, he had been basically living with Diddy while the two worked on his latest album. As we discussed on previous sidebars, Jones made multiple allegations against Diddy in his own lawsuit, saying that there was rampant drinking, drug use, sexual assault during Diddy's parties. He claims that he was groped by Diddy, that he was the victim of sex trafficking as he was forced to engage in sex acts with sex workers. He even claims that Diddy groomed him for homosexual sex and facilitated for him to be sexually abused by actor Cuba Gooding Jr. He also claims that there are hours of audio and video footage documenting Diddy's alleged crimes and misconduct. And according to Miss O'Markey, Jones taped this event with her. Yes, the lawsuit provides transcripts of audio recordings, and these audio recordings purportedly show, or you can hear, kissing sounds, her telling Combs not to touch her, her allegedly asking about whether she was drugged. Now, we haven't heard these tapes here on Law and Crime yet, but if they are what they purport to be, that is a huge piece of evidence. And remember, when we're talking a civil case, when we're talking lawsuits, the burden of proof is much lower than a criminal case. It's just preponderance of the evidence, more likely than not.
So, what do you think? Are Jaguar's claims legit? What do you make of Diddy's call? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for the latest tea on what's happening behind the scenes. Until then, keep it real, fam!